Hi. So this is my second live broadcast like this, and I'm still getting the hang of it. So I'm going to talk a little about first contact today. But first, we need to try and get things set up. So I'm not sure how we can chat together because the YouTube chat doesn't seem to appear to me. So we've got a couple of viewers on, 5 or 7 viewers. So if anyone wants to chat with me or talk with me, we can do it via Skype. So what I'll do is I'll start my Skype, and if you've got Skype, you can either message me in the text or call me if you like. So my Skype name is jcmartin1000@hotmail.com. That's jcmartin1000@hotmail.com. And if you search for me on Skype, you can call me and ask me a question, or just message me a question in the chat box on Skype, because I can't see the chat on YouTube because I'm doing this through a Google Hangout, and I only see like the Google Hangout chat, but there's only me in it. And I don't know how to get the YouTube chat up. So that's the idea. Send me a request on Skype if you want to message me or ask a question by text or voice. So what to talk about? Where do we start? So it seems this year is going to be a big year for first contact, for extraterrestrial contact. We're seeing a massive shift in the media over the last few weeks. They're like just talking about it openly. Like, it was only like a few months ago. Well, it's just happened just recently. They've started like admitting that there's like secret black project programs been monitoring UFOs, and that's a huge step in the right direction, because until now the US government particularly claimed that they weren't monitoring UFOs at all, which is quite humorous in a way, because as if they wouldn't monitor things entering their airspace. And so Yeah, so we're seeing a massive shift, and this is going to affect the collective consciousness. It's going to slowly sleep into the collective consciousness, the idea that we're not alone, because these videos are like these interviews that are happening on like Fox and CNN. They're basically they're like so close on the verge of basically disclosure. It's like there was a Department of Defense guy on there. He's the ex-Department of Defense secret UFO program guy, and now retired. And he was basically saying he believes that he didn't say he believed there were extraterrestrial beings visiting the planet, but he couldn't have said much closer. He was like, what did he say? Like something like these objects that are visiting us appear to be from elsewhere, or the evidence suggests that we are being visited by something else. It was basically disclosure. We're like on the verge of disclosure. It's being seeped into the mainstream media. What was ridiculed only a year ago is now just being openly discussed. So it's a huge step. It's a massive step for humanity. It's a massive step for mankind. Like, it really is absolutely massive, because this is like the turning point, the tipping point of the admittance that we are being visited by extraterrestrial intelligence. And this is going to shift the consciousness dramatically, the collective consciousness of the planet, because when people start to explore extraterrestrial contact, which people will, because obviously this is going to pique a lot of people's interest, like the scientific community and people like this, they're going to start doing their own research about extraterrestrial contact online. Now it's looking very likely, as proposed by the mainstream media, that we are being visited by extraterrestrials. It's going to increase a lot and cause a lot of people to start studying it and looking into it. And when we start exploring this extraterrestrial phenomena, it like really starts to affect our consciousness, because for one thing, when we're studying extraterrestrial consciousness, we're actually connecting to extraterrestrial consciousness. For wherever we place our focus, we bring into our consciousness. It's like we are tuning into their vibration. As soon as you start researching UFOs, your consciousness becomes aware of UFOs and extraterrestrial consciousness, and you make a connection subtly that begins to expand your consciousness, because you tune into their consciousness, which is like, it's like super expanded, like just like encompassing all of creation. And so as you start to explore the UFO phenomena, your consciousness naturally expands. So this alone is going to have like a huge effect on the collective consciousness. And of course, the more people start researching it, the more they're going to discover that the nature of extraterrestrial contact is like multidimensional. It's like, well, it is incomprehensible in a way. It's like nothing what we thought. We presume that they're just like aliens and they're just going to land and get out of their spaceship and come in and have a cup of coffee. But they are so alien to us. They are so different to us. Their consciousness is so incredibly huge. It is indescribable. You can't really understand it until you get a glimpse of it, experience it. How different their perception of reality is to ours, because they like literally experience themselves as all of creation. Like it's like having infinite consciousness. And with the light disclosure that's happening in the mainstream media, it's going to cause people to start researching this, start discovering this, start discovering their own spiritual journey, because you can't go into the UFO phenomena without going on some sort of spiritual transformation. Well, maybe you can, but it's difficult because it is so intertwined, the expansion of human consciousness and extraterrestrial contact. They are one and the same thing, because in a way, making contact with extraterrestrials is a reflection of our expanding consciousness. And expanding consciousness is a side effect of extraterrestrial experiences. So the collective consciousness is going to start expanding rapidly just by this understanding, this coming out in the mainstream media, that we are being visited, which is basically being the beginnings of disclosure happening. So 2018 is going to be a huge year for first contact. This is going to cause an acceleration of the extraterrestrials interacting with us. It's an opportunity for them because the collective mindset is opening and an individual mindsets are opening, and it's becoming grounded in our belief systems that they are real, which makes it much more accessible for them to enter our reality. So there's going to be a lot more UFO sightings, a lot more telepathic communication, a lot more communication in dream time. And so my sense of who is going to be involved in first contact, you might see from the title, First Contact, Pleiades, Sirius, Yahyel. This is sort of from what the Yael have hinted at to me and my own intuition, that this is how first contact is going to play out. The Pleiades and Sirius are going to be the first, and Yael coming after, because I think one reason the Yael probably won't be first is because they look too scary. They look very much like the Greys. A lot of them, they've got a lot of big eyes, whereas their energy is quite intense. Whereas while all their energy is intense and is going to blow everyone's reality to pieces, the Pleiades, the Pleiadians, they have a much more loving, compassionate energy, which is, even though it's so powerful and it's going to like blow us up internally, it's going to be a lot more pleasant to deal with. Love and compassion, it's going to be a lot more conducive to the first contact. And they look a lot more like us, it seems, the Pleiadians. They're just like sort of mega good looking versions of us. So it's probably going to be the Pleiadians or the Syrians that are going to be first. And I expect to see more UFO sightings, more contact with these civilizations occurring this year. And yes, so that's where we're at. And so if anyone wants to chat with me, you can Skype me, because I can't see the chat box on YouTube for some reason. I need to work out, it's a bit complicated live streaming on YouTube. And so I'm going to use Skype to communicate with you, and this way you can call in and we can have a voice chat as well. So if you want to ask me any questions, Skype me on jcmartin1000@hotmail.com, or you can search for Jonathan Charles Martin, jcmartin1000@hotmail.com. If you Skype me, and you can call in and we can have a voice chat, or you can just message me in Skype with any questions you have. And I'm also running a play shop, a first contact play shop over Zoom on January the 7th, Sunday, January the 7th, 6 p.m. UK time. It's going to be a 3-hour play shop where I will be channeling the Yahyel, and they're going to be sharing a lot of information on accelerating first contact this year, predictions for further contact, giving us energy upgrades, sharing this new energy with us, giving us the opportunity to match a higher frequency version of ourselves, first contact meditations, teaching you how to get in contact with your own guides, and this sort of stuff. So yeah, so the full details are available. There should be a link in the box. It's if you go to my website, jonathancmartin.com, and look at the top menu bar, it says contact play shop, or there should be a link in the box on YouTube. So check that out. So yes, so message me on Skype if you have any questions. I find it easier to answer questions than just to talk randomly. But I have no questions, so I will continue to talk randomly. So, yes, so it seems we're going through a big shift of consciousness. Like last year was an intense purging and intense healing processing time, particularly the last quarter of last year, from the equinox to the solstice, like a few days ago. It was like a lot of emotional stuff coming up for a lot of people. And this has caused a huge acceleration in our consciousness. It was like, for many of us, it feels like sort of the last dregs of our emotional attachments were coming up for us. And we went through this huge healing and this huge processing in the latter stages of last year. This year, we're still there. Feels like the new year because it's like after the solstice. And this has caused a huge acceleration in consciousness. And I think we're still all a little in shock from everything we've been through over the last 3 months. And we're like all a bit dazed. And we're like, oh. But the new consciousness is coming in, and it'll become much more clear in the new year, because everything will begin to drop away, a fresh start, and it'll become very clear that this new consciousness has entered our reality. And this consciousness is what we need for first contact. And this is why 2018 is going to be a huge year for contact, because those of us that have been working towards this for so long have like purged, healed, processed all those incompatible vibrations, or a good portion of those incompatible vibrations within ourselves, that has allowed for the expansion and the acceleration of our own consciousness to a state of being more similar to the extraterrestrial state of being. For what we need to do to accelerate consciousness is to come closer to their level of being, because it's like the law of attraction. You cannot perceive what you're not the vibration of. So we need to come to match their vibration so we can have more contact experiences, more channeling, more visions, more UFO sightings, and more physical contacts one-to-one. And so, yeah, we need to like match their frequency more and more. And so this great purging we've been through last year has enabled us all to accelerate our consciousness, and we're coming closer to their consciousness levels. And this is why 2018 is guaranteed to be a huge year for contact. And this is why we're getting the reflection, the mirror of the mainstream media starting to admit that there's really something going on for the first time in 60 years since Roswell. They're finally starting to cover it and admit that there's something going on, at least in the US. It has been covered a little in other countries. And this is a reflection of our own expansion of consciousness. We're finally starting to see that this is all real. We're believing it within ourselves. Our belief systems are shifting. We can see that it's real, and our beliefs are creating our reality, and it's being mirrored in the mainstream media, admitting that there is something going on, that there is definitely a bizarre phenomena, and that the UFO phenomena is real, even if they haven't quite admitted that we're being visited by extraterrestrials from the Pleiades. But it's coming, because it's like the floodgates opening. They can't hold it back now, because this is going to cause more people to start researching it. And as soon as people start researching it, they're going to discover that there's a treasure trove of information and evidence to suggest, to show, to prove that we have been visited by extraterrestrials for a long time. And so there's no going back now. It's like we're guaranteed disclosure. Don't know how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen exactly, but it has begun. And so it's all accelerating. And this is what's going to cause real things to happen, because of course we don't need the mainstream media to admit that there is contact happening for contact to happen, because us and the extraterrestrials can create this reality between ourselves, because we create our own reality. So it's really just a point of when enough of us are open in our hearts and of a high enough frequency and ready to embrace contact, it will create an energetic state in the collective consciousness that's conducive to first contact. So this year is going to be exciting. So what can we do to accelerate contact? So that's it, accelerate consciousness. We need to, the more we do to come closer to their frequency, the faster we're going to create first contact. It's like campaigning for disclosure is all great, but ultimately it's an inside job. Everything is an inside job because we create our own reality. So first and foremost, we've got to look at our own beliefs. Do we truly believe we're on the verge of first contact? Do we believe extraterrestrials exist? Do we believe we can contact them? Do we believe they are here? Because our beliefs create our reality. So we've got to look at our beliefs and come to see that our beliefs create our reality. And from here, we've got to start to accelerate and expand our own consciousness. We've got to follow excitement, follow our dreams, become the true us that we are. For when we're not being ourselves, there's no one home to make contact. But this is the idea that when we are following our highest excitement and our joy and expanding our consciousness, we become more in the now. We start to live more in the present moment because we're just in joy and we're just loving life. So we don't need to project to the future or worry about the past. We're just going with the flow, and we're living in the now, in the present moment, in our true consciousness, in our true nature. For when we're in the past or the future, like projecting what we want in the future or worrying about what happened in the past, we're not being our true selves. We're not here. We're not home. There's no one here. We're just in this delusional thought patterns. But our true self, our true nature that we come to align with as we begin to follow our passion and our joy and our calling, we start to ground in the present moment. We start to become focused only in the present moment, which is all there ever is. And this is where we connect with our true being, our true soul, our higher self, our higher consciousness in the present moment. It's like we've always been here. We've always been awake. We've always been enlightened. We've always been self-realized. And the self-realized being is the present moment state of consciousness, just us here in this moment now. This is the realization that our self is us, just here now. But we cloud it all in past and future. But as we start to live our excitement more and more and align with our purpose and our calling, we ground back into center. We come back to center. We come back to the present moment, and we're here. And it's from the present moment, this present moment consciousness, that we can have extraterrestrial contact, because they are very present and focused beings, and we need to match their frequency. And when we're in our minds, we're like not even us. They can't even see us in a way, because we're like on a totally bizarre frequency that's totally like almost inconceivable to them to be creating some story pattern within physical mind about some future us that we hope is going to occur, or some past us that has gone. It's like extraterrestrial consciousness is just focused, just centered in the present moment, in this here and now moment. And we need to match that. We need to be home. We need to be here in the present moment to make further contact with the extraterrestrial consciousness. So the most important thing we can do is our spiritual practice, however we do this, to bring us more firmly into the present moment, into our centered, aligned consciousness. And of course, The method that I share mostly, because is what the Yahyel share, and Bashar, who is one of my major teachers, is the idea of following your highest excitement moment to moment to the best of your ability. For when you're following your highest excitement, you are following the guidance of your higher self, your higher mind, your higher consciousness. And this is the most direct path to everything we desire, to our expansion, our enlightenment, our creation, what our service we desire to bring to humanity. It like contains it all. It contains everything. It brings us into the present moment more. It expands our consciousness. It brings to us everything we need to look at in ourselves. It will reflect back to us any realities we contain within us, any subconscious fear patterns, emotional behaviors that are contained within our beingness, our subconscious, from our past, that need to be brought to the light, brought to the surface through following our highest excitement. It will give our higher self the opportunity to bring those situations to us that will allow us to heal and transform and transcend and transmute these out of alignment emotional belief patterns based on our conditioning and our childhood pain and trauma. And it will allow us to accelerate our consciousness into a new reality where we are more of who we truly are. And from this place, first contact will begin to happen naturally, and we'll begin to see more mirrors, more reflections in our outer reality, further disclosure, and such and so on. So no one's asked me any questions on Skype. I wish I could work out how to view the YouTube chat. Let me see if I can see what's going on. See what happens if I click this. Oh my gosh, I'm watching my own live stream from a few minutes ago. I can't see any. Oh, wait there. Ah, I see the chat. I found the chat. Oh, right. So, yeah, so Linda Chapman, if you're still there, yeah, it's JC Martin. JC, I can probably type it in here. Skype me on JC Martin 1000 at hotmail.com. Skype me on JC Martin. Yeah, so Linda Chapman, I think you're asking for my Skype address. It's JCMartin 1000 at hotmail.com. And I just typed it in the chat box on YouTube because I finally found out how to access it. So I'm still live, it seems. That was a bit confusing, watching 2 minutes of myself ago played back. So let's have a look at the chat questions. That's a nice image from... Hi, Jonathan. Could you ask them if cryptocurrencies are part of a global revaluation and if Bitcoin is a sound investment for the next few years? I can share from my own perspective. I'm not really channeling at the minute. They might tap in with some information if they feel it's relevant, but I don't think they'd tell us if Bitcoin was a sound investment. But the thing about cryptocurrencies is that they have the potential to be the future, because I don't understand them well enough to say if they are sound or not. But I'd suggest they are, because the thing is with the current monetary system, it's all centralized and it's all owned by like corporations, and like, so we're all at the whim of them, like the Federal Reserve, and like everything's done online now. So it's like they control everything. So the thing with cryptocurrencies is we're taking our monetary system back because it's decentralized. It's just a method of exchange and it's not owned by anyone. So for this reason, cryptocurrencies will be the future. in my opinion, or they are one optional future, and they are way better than our current monetary system. But of course, they have their flaws, and you need to do a lot of research into it. But yeah, for this reason, I think cryptocurrencies are the future, because they are decentralized and they are like a neutral method of exchange. And this is what we need. We don't want to be having other entities controlling like a small group of people controlling our currency, because then we're like all at the whim of their decisions. So, and it's up to us. If we like all invest in the cryptocurrencies and we say we're going to start using cryptocurrencies, we create our reality. So could you estimate? Yeah, I mean, I think cryptocurrencies are the future, and we don't know which ones. I mean, there's lots of cryptocurrencies now, and perhaps one is going to come out that's more usable, that's more easy to use as a currency, as an exchange, than Bitcoin. But yeah, I think cryptocurrencies are the future. So sweet. I'll be leading a CE5 and then be involved with the third commas. Yahyel. Didn't know they would be third, but that's fine. I'm not sure they're going to be exactly third. I haven't had the confirmation from the Yahyel yet. This is, or maybe I have. I don't know. This is a general idea that I got today of how it's going to progress. Pleiades, Sirius, Yahyel. So maybe that was a download from the Yahyel. It's resonating, so. Any thoughts on an economic collapse in 2018? No. I think we should focus on like building up the new economy. So perhaps we should all start investing in cryptocurrencies, build a new economy based on cryptocurrencies, so that we have a new system in place ready for when the economy does collapse. And of course, get in alignment with our excitements and our calling, because ultimately the future economy is going to be based on the skills of the individual. And in the future, we won't even need cryptocurrencies. We will work on pure synchronicity. When everyone's following their highest excitement and their passion and their calling moment to moment, we'll become like one symbiotic organism where we all synchronize together. Like whoever needs to be with whoever will happen at exactly the right time to share the services they have for each other. And it's happening already. It's like synchronicity is stepping up rapidly. You might have noticed it. It's like synchronicity has been crazy for me lately. I'm just like bumping into whoever I need to bump into. Like it's just it's really ramping up in certain parts of the world, particularly where the consciousness is higher. And so yeah, so we need to focus more on like following our highest excitement, following our calling, following our inspiration, our joy, our passion, moment to moment. And then this is what's going to create the new economy, because everyone's going to be doing their bit. Because of course, an economy isn't really based on money; it's based on service and goods and exchange. And so, and this is why our current economy is so screwed up, because it's completely lost the point of the economy. Like people exchanging goods and services and barter, it's got so lost in the finances and people betting on economies going up and down that it's just draining everything. And it doesn't even make sense as an economy anymore. So yeah, let's all invest in crypto. let's choose what we feel resonates. I don't want to say all invest in cryptocurrencies, but it's our reality. So if we all say we're going to use Bitcoin, we're going to use cryptocurrencies as the new currency, it doesn't matter how much the Federal Reserve and the mainstream media are telling us it's all a bubble, because if there's like 100 people in the Federal Reserve and 100 people on the mainstream media telling us that cryptocurrencies are a bubble, and there's like 6.5 billion people that have decided we're going to use cryptocurrencies, whatever they tell us, then the cryptocurrencies will stabilize and they'll become the new economy. And this is the way it's going. It's like the power is returning to the people, and this is just a reflection of the power returning to the people. So let's choose cryptocurrencies for the future. And let's do research to find out what are the most stable, if we're inspired to do so, and do research to find out which ones are the most safest to invest in at the moment, and research if cryptocurrencies are the future and how we could use them as a new decentralized system of barter and exchange until we become a fully synchronistic symbiotic organism in the future. Yeah, cryptocurrency is an amazing reflection of our shifting consciousness. It's like we're all taking our power back, and the cryptocurrencies appear to be a reflection of this. And of course, the mainstream media is telling us it's all a bubble because they're all in with the people who are working the other system. So don't listen to them. They're feeding you a lie because they're being paid off by the Federal Reserve. So has anyone contacted me on Skype? It doesn't seem so. Are you going to channel some alien dudes tonight? Maybe a little. To see if there are any other questions I haven't covered. Anything that Yahyel can inform us about the upcoming event, as Brad Johnson referred to it as? Well, my personal perception is that the event is happening, like right now. It's like we've been through such a shift and such a transformation at the end of last year. I don't know how exactly Brad talks about it. I follow Brad a little. I know he talks about solar flares being a big part of this shift. And I think there's a lot of solar activity, I'm told, last year, while we were all going through all this intense emotional healing. Some of you maybe went through it yourselves as well, like between September and November, December, like huge stuff was coming up for everyone. It's a real difficult time for everyone, for a lot of people. And that was the beginning of the shift. Well, it's been happening for a long time, obviously, but that was part of it ramping up. It's like these solar flares coming in, consciousness of the Earth raising up, ramping up, and forcing people to let go of their stuff. It's like get on the train or die time. So this is the shift, and of course we are the shift. The shift includes us. The shift is us. It's a collective shift of consciousness. And so I would say we're right in the middle of the shift, like particularly like the last few days, like through the solstice. And I feel we are shifting. It's a huge fulcrum point, in my opinion, at the minute. I think we are in the midst of the shift. And at some point, we're all going to go, oh, yeah. Oh, it happened. We shifted. So, yeah, I mean, the consciousness feels very different for me now. It's like we're in there. I feel like we have shifted somewhat into fourth density. The event has happened. Synchronicity is increased extremely, like 10 times. People are tuning into their multidimensional nature. We're beginning to sense the connectedness of all things. Massive healing has happened. I mean, if this isn't the event or the shift, I don't know what is. This is it. It's happening now. Synchronicity is everywhere. We just got to learn to work with it and learn to flow with it. Do you have a good meditation for winter solstice you would pass on to me? Thank you. Brad spoke about a massive light would appear in the sky. Oh, nice. I don't know anything about that, Sarah. Do you have a good meditation for winter solstice? Would you pass on to me? So maybe I can channel a little winter solstice meditation. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate your support. We really do appreciate your support, all of us. It can be quite intense doing this channeling. It's not easy. I know myself, Brad, and all these channels. I've been through a lot to do this. So yes, we really appreciate your support, Sarah. It means a lot to us. Not everyone supports us in the same way. We have to put up with both sides of the spectrum, which is good because that's the planet we came to on purpose. So yeah, okay, so I'll channel a solstice meditation. I'll see who comes through. I'll just get comfy. Hello. Hello, Shivai. Good day. Hello, we are the Yahyel. We are the Yahyel. Good day. Hello, welcome. Welcome to our world. Welcome to our dimension. Welcome to our pitch. Welcome to our frequency. Welcome to our state in existence in this here and now moment. We are perceiving. We are co-creating together. We are co-perceiving. We are alleviating somewhat the vibrational distortions in your reality as you pass through this gateway, this window into a new solar cycle on your planet. A new harmonization of consciousness is occurring with us, with other beings, with many consciousnesses in reality for the purpose of balancing out the grid, balancing out the framework of vibrational patterns that exist around your planet as an energetic holding frame, an energetic network, an energetic cradle in which your planet, your Gaia, and your collective civilization coexists. For the idea is the vibrations as you move into this new era of the galaxy, as you move into this new area of the time-space equation, the time-space existence you call planet Earth, you call the harmonization of frequencies and the collective co-creation of your global civilization of Gaia. This reality is becoming, is accelerating, is transforming. You're entering into a much more fourth density vibrational state of being, fourth density vibrational state of consciousness. And as the channel suggested prior to our coming through, prior to our transmission, the shift has been ongoing for some time. It will continue to accelerate for some time as you shift into a fully fledged fourth density civilization. The idea is, however, that this point, this tipping point of the scales, as we may call it, as you go through this fulcrum point into the 2018 cycle, solar cycle of your planet, another orbit of your soul, the occurring of the spiraling of your solar system through your galaxy and your galaxy through your cosmos is the idea that you are entering a new vibrational field of existence in your reality. There is an acceleration. You're moving into a new segment of the galaxy and the galaxy into a new segment of your universe. You have literally tipped the scales into a new world, a new vibrational reality, a new fourth density existence of consciousness. And this is causing some fluctuations in your vibrational fields, your ley line systems, your energetic grids on your planet, some discordance, some disharmony that we are as the Yahyel amongst the Bashar's civilization, the Shikani, and many other civilizations such as Sirius, Pleiades, co-creating this event in this time. The idea is we are here to stabilize the grid, to balance out the energies. We are centered over some of your fulcrum points, some of your vortices, such as Glastonbury, such as Sedona, such as Hawaii, such as Lake Titicaca, such as Mount Fuji. These ideas of these fulcrum points, Ayers Rock, these vortices, these energetic centers on your planet. We are situated over many of these zones, many of these vortices for the purpose of harmonizing the energy and stabilizing the frequencies entering your reality somewhat at this timing. And we would share with you that this is the meditation. We are going through a meditation. We are entering into a fourth density reality, which is, in a sense, a more meditative state of consciousness, where you become more centered in your present moment, more centered in your true nature, your true frequency, the presence of your true self, your true nature, your true core signature vibration is coming to the fore. And of course, the idea of meditation is to bring you back more into alignment with this nature of yourself, with this vibrational field, with this vibrational frequency of consciousness that you call your true self, your true nature. So the very idea of moving through this solstice period into a new fourth density reality is the idea of accelerating your consciousness and expanding yourselves into a more meditative nature, a more dreamlike state, a more hyperdimensional state of awareness, a more hyperspace state of consciousness. 4, hyperdimensionality is your true nature. Hyperdimensionality is your true being. 4, all of creation exists here and now as you in this present moment. All things exist within you. You are all things. You are all beings. You are all creatures, you are all creation, you're all planets, all stars, all cosmoses, all universes, all dreams within the dream of the one infinite creator are you, for you are the one infinite creator. You are the creator, you are the created. And this idea alone will bring you into more of a meditative, centered, aligned perspective of your true nature. The more you harmonize with the frequency, the pitch of your own nature, your own consciousness, your own beingness, your own resonance, your own field of awareness, that is your conscious signature vibration in this moment. The more you tune into this energy, the more you become naturally meditative, the more you become naturally harmonious, the more you become vibrationally resonant with the expression of your higher self in this reality. And this is, in a sense, the meditation. This is, in a sense, the creation of your true nature. The bringing in, the centering, the aligning of your consciousness with your true self is a much more meditative state. For the idea is that when you are following your excitement, you are following your dreams, or you are following your passion, fearlessly, you come into a very centered, a very empty, a very flowing, a very meditative style state. And it is possible to move at a very accelerative rate, moving through your excitements, moment to moment to moment to moment, whilst remaining very centered, very calm, very peaceful, very empty inside. And this is really the state we are moving towards. The idea that meditation and acceleration, meditation and expansion, inwards and outwards become one. The idea of the meditation as a state to center yourself and ground and harmonize and create more peace. And the idea of following your excitement, your passion, your dreams to expand and accelerate and experience joy and creativity and synchronicity and harmony and expansion and multidimensionality are becoming one. Both sides of the coin, they are one and the same. The more you follow your excitement, the more you follow your dreams, the more you become who you truly are, the more you become peaceful, the more you become centered, the more you become empty, and the more you become the one. And the more you become empty and the more you become meditative and the more you become trusting and believing and knowing and centered within your deep being. The more you expand, the more you accelerate, the more you are able to easily align and perceive and see the next step, see the next gateway into the new aspect of your true self, see the doorway into the new aspect of your true being. So true simultaneity of existence involves emptying out, becoming nothing, becoming the one, while simultaneously moving out, expanding out into your reality. It's all one and the same thing. The expansion is the meditation, and the meditation is the expansion. The acceleration is the inward dive, and the inward dive is the acceleration into more of who you are, into your outer reality. But of course, moving outwards is moving inwards, because it's all you. It's all one. It's all creation. It's all created within your own consciousness. So all you will ever find in your excitement, in your fears, in your darkest corners of your creation that you are now being willing to embrace is more of who you are, because it's all you. And the more you go into your fears, the more you dive deep down into these emotional patterns that are no longer relevant for your expansion in this creation, the more of you do you discover. The more peace, the more multidimensionality, the more unification, the more unity, the more telepathic communication, the more deeper roots will go down into your Gaia, and the more ecstatic bliss will go up into the cosmos. So for a moment, let this settle in. Let this ground into your being. Let this ground into your core. let this ground into your consciousness, your centered state of awareness, and become a new reality for a moment. Let go of all the old, understand it is gone, understand it is a past reality. Every moment, every millisecond is a past reality. No longer has anything to do with who you are unless you choose to let it affect your current state of consciousness. You create in the present moment. You can change the past, you can change the future, because all exists here and now as you. There is only you. There is only this moment. There is only consciousness, and what you say goes. So if you say the past has no effect on you, it doesn't. If you say the future has no effect on you, it doesn't, because you create this reality at your present moment. So relax into this understanding. Align your spine. Let your vertebrae stack up one upon another into a balanced, energized state. And from here, allow the energy to flow. Allow the energy to move. Allow your consciousness to harmonize. Allow the being within to come forth. Allow your chakras to alight. Allow your consciousness to become one with all you are. And feel in to the energetic vibration at the base of your spine, the root chakra, the deep, deep red, rooting you down into the earth, into the ground. A spiral akin to the formation of DNA protrudes from your spine and spirals down in deep browns and earthen colors. It grounds you. It roots you to the core of the earth. You feel a rooting cord from the base of your spine, the base of your consciousness, the base of the energetic being that you are. The energy centers, the chakra systems that form the basis of your energetic consciousness. Your higher being, your higher centers, your higher alignments. And sense into the red energy, the deep red vibration of the basal chakra at the root of your spine. And sense it reverberating up into the next chakra, the sacral chakra, as it moves up into the orange vibration, the orange consciousness, the orange beingness. And see from here how worthy you are. See from here how perfect you are. See from here how you are an intrinsic aspect of creation. You are a perfect aspect of creation, for you are intrinsic and essential to the holding up, to the sustenance of all that is. Without you, all that is would not be all that is. You are intrinsic, you are essential, you are perfect. Aspect of creation, aspect of consciousness. For all that is in creation is consciousness. And from here, from the orange vibration of the sacral chakra, know that you are consciousness. Equally as valid, equally as vital, equally as intrinsic, equally as loved as any other aspect of creation. You are the perfect one. You are perfect unification. And you are perfect harmony. And this balance and the stabilization and the knowing that you are always supported in your reality. For you are your reality, and what you say goes. And you create, and you form, and you balance, and you harmonize. And you step up your vibration from this solid foundation of the knowing of your sustainability, of the knowing of your invincibility, of the knowing of your immortality, and the knowing that you are a perfect aspect of creation. For you are not separate from anything. You are an intrinsic, vital, loved, vibrational field of consciousness resonating with all of creation on an equal pitch. And from this stable platform, we can accelerate, we can expand into the solar plexus, into the realm of emotion, into the realm of balance, into the realm of relation with others. And we see from our understanding that we are perfect beings, that we are pure consciousness, pure love, pure awareness, dancing with infinite creation as an aspect of the perfect creator. We come to see that all interplay and relation with others is perfect also. For even our mistakes are perfect. And even our awkward relationships and our difficult relationships and our painful relationships are perfect aspects of creation, perfect aspects of the play of duality, perfect aspects of the play and contrast of this beautiful civilization. And from here, we can stabilize in the knowing that this perfect dance of creation, in which all things move in perfect timing, enables us to transcend, enables us to see that all relationships we have with our fellow beings are perfect in their timing, are perfect in their occurrence, and are okay to let flow in the way they are flowing. Because they are always flowing perfectly as a reflection of where we're at and where they are at. And we are co-creating and we are harmonizing in the perfect reflection of a mirroring of energy to each other, the perfect balance of creation, the perfect synchronization of consciousness, of two consciousnesses coming together for the purpose of relationship, relaying energy, information back and forth in a perfect dance, a perfect harmonization and perfect timing. We see all relationships occur in perfect timing as synchronicity, as consciousness expands and consciousness wishes to reflect back on itself and mirror back on itself and synchronize with itself for the purpose of its own learning and its own growing. We see we are merely connecting with other aspects of our own self, other aspects of our own consciousness, mirroring back to us our own state of being, attracting into our reality those reflections, those mirrors we need as pure consciousness to accelerate and expand and grow. And from here, we see the perfection in all our relationships. We see the intrinsic synchronicity, the intrinsic perfection of all relation. And we see the perfection of creation and how all beings are worthy of infinite love and unconditional abundance and awareness of this understanding. And from this understanding of the perfection, it creates a platform, it creates a balance, it creates a harmony in which we can springboard up into our higher centers, into the heart center, into the harmonization of our heart chakra, our heart consciousness, our heart being. Pure love, pure green energy, pure green essence of creation reverberates, moves, flows, inspires, co-creates, loves, embraces, holds, assists, serves, flows, expands, excites, exhilarates, and alights who we truly are. For it is from here when we begin to reverberate, resonate with our heart's code, our heart's energy. We begin to see our true nature, a truer glimpse of who we are. Beyond the thoughts, beyond the mind patterns, beyond our emotional reactions to others. We harmonize, we centralize, we energize in a new world. For this is the event. This is the shift, the collective transformation, the collective movement into the heart, the fourth density reality, the fourth chakra, the reality, the density of love, the density of compassion, the density of service, the density of intuition, expression of joy, of excitement, intuitive movement of the higher mind through the heart into our reality. This is the shift. This is the event. This is the transformation. So know when you are centered in your heart, when you are in the flow, in the love, in the bliss, in the joy, in the expansion, in the co-creation, in the emptiness of your soul. When you are centered here, you are free. And when you are centered here, you are one. And when you are centered here, you are who you came to be. You have shifted into the new understanding. You have shifted into the new awareness. You have shifted into the realization that the event is you, and the outer reflection is merely that, a reflection of your inner shift. And as you begin to shift inwardly into your heart space, your heart chakra, your heart consciousness, you see the opportunity to move higher into the throat chakra, the realm of expression, the realm of communication, true communication, communication from your higher centers, from your true self, your true nature, your true being, your true consciousness, evolves, expands, accelerates, becomes, flows with the natural movement of creation. From here we can rise to the third eye and beyond, and enlighten and awaken our higher energy centers, our higher states of consciousness, and our true being, our true essence, our true soul's guidance, our true higher self's purpose. From here, we have access to all beings or layers of our consciousness relevant for our precedence, for our expansion, for our co-creation within this world, within this dream. So stay high. Notice what comes up when you're in the higher states, when you're in your heart. Notice the energy moving within the lower chakras. Notice the beliefs and thoughts associated with these emotional patterns. See, they are no longer anything to do with you. See, they are beliefs handed down to you from a past civilization, a third density realm of confusion and misunderstanding and misperception of what is real for you. And begin to unravel, and begin to untangle, and begin to untie, and begin to let go what you are not, and become who you are. So let go of the old. See, it no longer serves. See, it is no longer vibrationally compatible with your heart state centered of consciousness. Know that from here, perfection is intrinsic to your being. Inspiration and flow will accelerate, will expand, will enlighten you effortlessly when you are in this state of heart-centered consciousness, when you are aligned with the fourth density realm of heart-centered being. When you become this, the more you align day to day with your higher chakras, your higher centers, whilst not denying what is coming up in the lower ones, whilst being willing to observe and process and transmute and realign and redefine those beliefs that cause the emotional patterns within your lower centers. Stay high, process what comes up, expand, create, co-create, accelerate. This is the shift. This is the event. The event exists within you because you are the event and you are all things. So let go of the need for things to manifest in your outer reality, for this is only holding them up. This is only creating a blockage. For the true state of a fourth density entity is a state of allowance, a state of surrender, a state of flow, a state of knowing that all things are always perfect because they are happening. The very fact that what is happening now is happening is evidence that it is imperfection. Because why would it happen if it wasn't perfect? Creation doesn't make mistakes. Creation doesn't make mistakes. Creation doesn't make mistakes. What is happening now is exactly what needs to happen now for your own expansion, for the expansion of those connected to this situation. And when we are aligned in the heart center, we see this, we know this, we feel into this. There is no mind, no emotional thought pattern handed down to us from our past civilization telling us there is something wrong with our reality. We are just centered in the love and the knowing and the understanding. And we tune into the vibrational flow of creation. And we tune into the essence that is consciousness. And from here, we sense, we know, we see that consciousness doesn't make mistakes. Consciousness is merely the one creator in form, accelerating, expanding, growing, learning, reflecting back to itself, like for like vibrations, synchronizing with those consciousnesses it needs to mirror back to itself for its own growth, its own expansion, its own acceleration. And when we are centered in the higher chakras, we know this, we sense this because we are part of this. And we can let go of our old belief systems and we can become more of who we are. And this is the event. This is the shift. The shift is you. So become the new world. Become the new earth. Become the heart consciousness of yourself. Good day, Earth humans. Good day. Hi, I'm back. Much love. Collectively, we are all doing this together, and I'm so proud of us all. Yes, thank you, Sarah. We're all in this together. We certainly are. We're doing a good job. I think we made it. Thanks for your work. Thank you. Thank you for your work. We're all in this together, like Sarah said. Hello, Yael. Hello. When are we going to interact with them? Do you mean physically, Thomas? Okay, so does anyone have any questions? So you can message me on Skype or call me on Skype, jcmartin1000@hotmail.com. I'll just write it in the text box. What is physical though now? Yeah, good question. I was sort of pointing to, did you mean we're going to interact with them in the physical world, like out there, which of course isn't really physical? Or did you just mean like telepathic communication? Yeah, so if anyone wants to call me on Skype, I've just typed my Skype name into the address box, and you can just press the audio call button and call me with any questions. So, Puerto Rico here. We're going to make humanity evolve. P.S. What do I watch for successful telepathic communication always? I'm not quite sure what you mean, Kadamasol. What do I watch for successful telepathic communication always? I'd say you know you're getting good communications through channeling or whatever. If it uplifts you, it should make you feel good. When we have strong telepathic communication, it's quite mind blowing. Like expansionists, we feel really great. So yeah, so look for high vibrational frequencies. The energy uplifts you. It should feel like a higher state. You should feel more alert, more centered in your higher chakras, more light, more energized, more joyful. So this is a good sign that you're making good connections with the higher entity. And also look to the information. The information should be empowering. It will never tell you what to do, because free will is one of the laws of creation, one of the laws of love and light. If we're following this positive path towards ascension, all beings of a higher consciousness than us respect free will. Well, once beings have reached a certain level of spiritual awareness, they always respect free will of all individuals. So any entity you connect with telepathically will always respect your free will, so it will never tell you what to do. So look for that, and the information will always be empowering. Say, do I feel like this information can benefit my life? And these are signs that you're making a good telepathic connection with something. What is the idea behind the Cook of Revelations? The book of Revelations. I don't know much about it, Andreas. I feel we're in the time of revelation now. Like everything is being revealed. So I'm guessing the book of Revelations is to do with this time we're currently going through. But I don't know much about it, to be honest. The more present I feel, the more I sense that we are in a simulation. Does this occur to you? Yeah. The more present we are in the present moment, the more we can connect into our true nature, our true consciousness, which is, I wouldn't really call it a simulation, but I get what you're pointing to. It's just we just sense into the idea that there is only consciousness. Consciousness is all there is, and we see that we're just energy, and it's just like one gigantic play, like infinite consciousness. The universe is just one dance of energy. And yes, the more present we are, the more we sense into that. The more we see we're one, the more we see we're unified with all creation. We are one consciousness. So yeah, for sure that occurs to me, Kashyap. Thank you, Natalie. I always appreciate positive feedback. Positive comments are always welcome here. Thank you very much. What can I do to help myself enjoy meditations more? I find it hard to stay awake. I always fall asleep. Thank you. The best tip I would give for that is to keep your spine as erect as possible, as straight as possible. Like this is the general idea why people meditate with a very straight spine, because this keeps you alert and awake. So this is the most important thing. Don't be slouched like this. You're more likely to fall asleep. And you can also try experimenting with like mudras, like see which like mudras energize you. Like, hold on, I switch to the screen so I can see my own hands. Yeah, the more like these sort of mudras can like create energy flow, like when I channel, so it can create a more alert state. Or you can play with them. There's loads of mudras. I don't know them that well, but as you see. But yeah, these sort of things can create energy, particularly hands together like this. It's quite energizing. Like this is more relaxing. So if you tend to fall asleep, perhaps try this more and straight spine and energy. You could even try this. I think that would help you keep energized. You can even meditate standing up like this, or like this, stood up. So that would be my tip. And plenty of oxygen in your system. Breathing through the nose. Breathing in through the nose, we have prana receptors on the back of our nose. Life force, chi energy is absorbed through the back of our nose. So breathing in through our nose is very beneficial. So these will be my tips to stay alert while meditating. Why Stephen Greer says Earth is female, I don't know. I don't know. Earth feels female to me. I feel like things are not as they really appear more and more. Yes. I don't know what to say for that. What about Nithyananda? Nithyananda? Are you referring to that that Hindu yoga teacher? If you talk about him, he seems pretty cool. He's got a nice energy. Do you get to see who you are channeling sometimes in your mind? Yes, I do. Not very often, though, but yes, I do. So, if you have any questions, get them in quick, because I think I'm about to wrap this up, because somehow I've been on nearly an hour and a half, which is a bit bizarre, because it doesn't feel like that long at all. Yeah, so if you want to add me on Skype for future live streams, you can just send me a Skype request. It's I'll type it in the chat box again so you can see it. This is my Skype name I'm typing in, JC Marketing 1000. hotmail.com. Yeah, I just typed in the chat box. Might take a little while to come through because there's a delay. Maybe not a delay on the chat though. Who knows? But you won't even hear me saying this, so you might see it before I say it. So, yeah, so if you can see my name, jcmartin1000@hotmail.com, add me on Skype. And then I'm gonna live stream every Tuesday as much as possible at 6 p.m. UK time from now on. So, and you can check my website. I've got the times that I'll be streaming on my website, jonathancmartin.com. So I'll type. No, I won't. There should be a link in the chat box, in the text box. Did I put a? Yeah, if you look in the text box under the streaming, I've got jonathancmartin.com/contact play shop. It's because I'm running a first contact play shop on January the 7th, 6 p.m. UK time. So if you're interested in getting involved with that, check out the link in the box, jonathancmartin.com/contact-play shop. And yeah, also on my website, you can see when I'm doing the live streams, which is going to be Tuesdays, 6 p.m. UK time, every Tuesday as much as possible. And yeah, and if you add me on Skype, add me with jcmartin1000@hotmail.com, jcmartin1000@hotmail.com. Add me on Skype, and then you can ask me questions. You can call me in, and we can have a chat over audio chat in the future. So, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Just see if we've got any last questions. Is there a time frame for when they will interact with humans in the same way we interact with each other, generally speaking? Yeah, I think that's some way off. I know they've been pointing to around 2033 as a big turning point, but that probably only be a beginning. I think we're some way off regular interaction with extraterrestrials where you just bump into them on the street every day. I'm sensing about like 60 years. So I'll be like 101 by then. So for many of us, it's going to be towards the end of our life where we're really starting to merge with extraterrestrial consciousness, and they'll be like bumping into them in the streets or parks or however reality is structured then. So, but around 2033 is a big point, and that ain't that far off. It's only like 16 years away. So that is going to go fast. 2 cycles away. That's my intuition. We've just been through one cycle, one 8-year cycle, and we've got 2 more 8-year cycles, like 2001 to 2009, 2009 to 2017, 2017 to 2025, 2025 to 2033. 2 more 8-year cycles, 2 more cycles of awakening. People tend to go through about an 8-year cycle of transformation. Like you have a big opening, and then you take 8 years to like integrate what you learned in that opening and sort of balance in that new consciousness. This is just my perception, a feeling I tune into. It seems relevant. So yeah, so 2 more 8-year cycles, 2 more waves of awakening, and we will be in a much more extraterrestrial reality. So thank you everyone for listening in, and I'll see you in the live stream again same time next week, Tuesday 6 p.m. UK time. Add me on Skype if you want to connect, and I'll see you then. Have a good day. Shibai. Thanks for all the comments, everyone. Thanks for all the positive comments. Much appreciated, and have a wonderful new year. Thank you. Good day. Shivai.